guys, we're having many issues with Instagram kicking me off. So I'm going to start again. We opened with Let's Go Crazy by Prince. It was incredible if you missed it. And I was just speaking about this, speaking of incredible, this unbelievable jacket. Is it gold? Is it pink? I don't know. It depends on which way you rub it. I just want to rub myself all over in this jacket. It's incredible. It was purchased by none other than Scott Marsh, my stoic paramour. And apparently he knows me pretty well because he planned this out back in like October and asked me for my size. He kind of blew the surprise and I was like, oh, you know, way to go. Also, there's no way I'm going to need it. There's no rush. I'm not going to need it before New Year's Eve. And clearly he knew what he was doing because now that it's here, I can't imagine a single day that I wouldn't want to wear it for some purpose, right? It's an incredible jacket. It is the Chris Jericho, if by any chance, special hook for this special jacket. If by any chance you watch AEW, I wouldn't call myself a wrestling fan, but I love AEW and I love Chris Jericho and I love his sequin jackets, and that's where this came from. This is part of Chris Jericho merch. I can't wait to wear it even more. There's a good chance you'll see it every week. Also, got some new lights. Things are pretty fancy around here. This week, I better get it all in here before my internet cuts out again. It's already happened like twice, right? So this is week 7. This is episode 5. Happy Diwali if you celebrate Diwali to you. Also, I learned just like an hour ago, this is also the 60th anniversary of the day that Ruby Bridges walked into that school in New Orleans. So way to go, Ruby Bridges, right? Today's theme is our baser instincts, right? And you're very intelligent people. I'm sure I don't have to tell you how that applies to things that might be going on in our country and our world right now. Let's just say my feelings on baser instincts, bad habits, primal desires are that ignoring them completely is certainly a mistake. But letting them control you, also a mistake. I can think of some, let's say, hypothetical situations I might, or someone I know might perhaps have been in, like perhaps hypothetically finding oneself in the back of a, hey Jess, nice to see you, sorry it's been crazy, the internet's been cutting in, this is like our 3rd try, so nice to see you. We're talking about baser instincts and primal desires and, you know, your classic lust, gluttony, greed, just like the sequin jacket, if you didn't see it, that I can't stop wearing now that I have it, right? But let's just say someone might once have found herself in a situation in the back of a police van, cuffed to someone else who then says, as you pull into the police station, I'm going to run for it. That's a time when you say, maybe I made some choices that I shouldn't have made, right? Not that I'm saying that definitely happened to me, but I'm just saying just maybe, right? Or perhaps back in the days when we used to like go to bars and like meet strangers, you know, perhaps you might have ended up with a stranger in your apartment and suddenly realized that you don't want that stranger in your apartment and you've made a horrible, horrible mistake. So then, you know, figuring out how to get that person the hell out of your apartment. So another example where you say, maybe questionable choices were made. However, sometimes, like, I remember a day in high school where I felt like skipping school, and my best friend and I skipped school and went to the zoo because that's how outrageous we were. That we had the day to ourselves and we chose to go learn about animals. But I don't regret that a bit. So anyway, primal desires, baser instincts, there's definitely a place for that. I don't think we could survive quarantine without some of that, without ice cream, without sweatpants, right? But at the same time, you know, if you feel like having a comfortable face is more important than possibly killing other people with your germs, you know, can't agree with that. You get it. Anyway, so how about some songs before my internet cuts out again or something else weird happens and Instagram stops my show. So first up, a song of mine. This is called Anymore. It is definitely about making choices and trying to resist temptation once you're supposed to be old enough to know better, but we know how that goes, right? This is Anymore. As I get older, answered wise. There are certain things I've come to realize. Sometimes the lows outnumber the highs. I'm basically a good girl, at least I try to be. 'Cause I guess that all depends on what good means to me. Maybe moderation is the key. Was fun, but when the fun's done, I can't go through that anymore. But I want you, and I want to, but I just don't do that anymore. See, you're 19, and you're real green, and I just don't do that anymore. No, I just don't do that anymore. Sun is up, the birds are mocking, and your face is drenched in sweat, and your clothes still smell like someone you swear you never met. The more you remember, the more you can't forget. Or it's late in the evening and you find you've come undone, and suddenly you notice that you're the only one. You've outlasted everyone. Oh, and once I thought I found the one. Yeah, once I thought I found myself the one. Was fun, but when the fun's done, I can't go through that anymore. But I want you, and I want to, but I just don't do that anymore. See, you're 19, and you're real green, and I just don't do that anymore. No, I just don't do that anymore. Please don't flash me that grin, 'cause I'm not giving in. No, I just can't do that anymore. No, I just can't do that anymore. See how long that lasts, right? Okay, next up, cover. Whoops, there it goes. This is one of my favorite covers. I haven't done it in a long time since, I can't believe it's been that long. It's been a minute, right? Since I think an episode in like June or something I did about being wild, right? So this, to me, is the upside of following one's primal instincts, because sometimes what you really need to do is just run through the woods and, howl at the moon. So this is called Fur by Blitzentrapper. Oops, it also needs a capo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe a sip. Cheers, Jessica. All right, this is Fur. Angels because sometimes wild is beautiful, right? So I'm going to finish up with a cover by the late, incredibly great Miss Etta James. This has a whole story behind it too. It is officially credited not just to Etta James, but Ellington Fuji Jordan and Billy Foster. So the story is that Ellington Jordan wrote this, or the skeleton of the song, while he was in prison, and he was a friend of Etta James. She went to visit him in prison. A lot of this had to do with thinking about his life and being stuck in prison, right? So he passed the song along to her, and she worked on it and made it the song that we know, which is I'd Rather Go Blind. And Billy Foster, her man at the time, she actually gave him writing credit for tax reasons, I assume to sort of get out of paying some taxes, which turned out to be a terrible choice because she was never able to reverse that. Now, her take, what she has said about this song, is that at the time that she was, continuing to write it, taking it from what Ellington Jordan wrote in prison into this song, she was blindly devoted to two things. One of those was Billy Foster, her man who was from the Medallions, I believe, and not a great relationship, a bit toxic, from what people say, and heroin. So you can kind of, I feel, hear this in the song, and the recording, which is 68, was done on when she was on a break from rehab, right? Or a break made possible by rehab. Sort of a good point for her. But definitely difficulty, choices, the wild side, definitely a part of making the song. So this is called I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James. Something told me it was over when I saw you and her talking. Something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. When I saw you and that girl walking out, I would rather go blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me, child. Ooh, so you see, I love you so much that I don't want to watch you leave me, baby. Most of all, I just don't wanna be free, no. I was just sitting here thinking of your kisses and your warm embrace, yeah. Ooh, and the reflection in the glass that I held to my lips now, baby, reveal the tears that were on my face. Ooh, and baby, I'd rather be blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me, yeah. Ooh, baby, I'd rather be blind now than to see you walk away from me. So, folks, that was the show. I'm glad we finally made it work after getting stopped like 3 different times. Jessica, I'm so glad that you were here. I have a little treat for you. A little bit of exit music in the spirit of freedom and wildness when it's appropriate, or maybe when it's not appropriate, but when it's not hurting anyone else, right? Cheers. I will see you next Saturday. And as I leave you, let's enjoy this incredible song. I'm going to put my sequin jacket back on, and I'll see you next Saturday.